Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackdown review for July 2nd, 2019. I'm your host, Conman167, and welcome back to the show. Yes, we just finished doing our live reactions, and we are now live with this thing. It was a good show, guys. Smackdown Live overall I thought was okay. I thought that there was certainly some decent moments and all that, and I thought that overall the show, it was fine. It was fine. That's my initial thoughts, but let's get into my entire thoughts for the entire show. But before we do that, everybody, I want to welcome you all to the show and ask you to say hi in the chat right now for the one and only Conman certified roll call. So who do we got in here today? We got ourselves Ghostface. We got Thomas Noble. We got Aled Thomas. We got Kofi Mania. How you doing, my friend? We got the King's Table, Peyton Cash. We got Nathan Noble, the Lunatic Fringe up in here. We got Bradley Robinette back in here. Christian Vega, nice to see ya. We got Lakers winning the championship in here. ICX Panda as well. GBC, welcome. Aiden Denningston, welcome as well. Carter Vlogs, nice to see ya. FaZe Goat. Nicar Laveria, how you doing? And Austin Holbrooks. That's where we're going to end with the nice little shout-outs along with Straight Slade. Welcome to the stream. Okay. We got into this thing. Smackdown Live overall tonight was not a bad show. Was it as good as Raw last night? There were moments that were pretty fun, but overall I felt that the show had a bit of a slower feel to it, and it definitely did not focus as much on in-ring content as normally Smackdown Live does. I felt that the matches were a little bit shorter, but one of the big things that was a big takeaway of the night was that Smackdown Live was still running their matches over commercial breaks. There was, I forget which match it was, I think it was Andrade versus Apollo Cruz, and that match went over the commercial break. So right now, I don't know if Vince McMahon is thinking about just only like maybe Monday Night Raw doesn't have matches over the commercial break, and then Smackdown Live maybe will, or just some matches are going to potentially be over commercial and others aren't, depending on if they can decide how to write it and work it and all that. But anyways, guys, let's get into our very, very awesome review. This entire show was live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, and it started off with a nice little recap of Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley going through the big screen on Monday Night Raw, and I thought that the show... Here's where I have a little bit of an issue, because the show starting with a recap from Monday Night Raw for two superstars who are never on SmackDown Live, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Why is that being recapped? Why is that needed to be recapped at the start of the show? Here's what I was saying on the live stream, and I completely agree with what I said on the stream earlier, is that if you present your show as second tier, people are going to believe it's second tier. And what does SmackDown do is they constantly show Raw replays. The replays that are going on the big screen for everybody in the crowd to see, it half the time, you're literally just watching replays on SmackDown. And this was a very common theme throughout the entire night. I think we had 5, maybe 6 Raw replays in the span of 2 hours. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to recap things, because it's good. It's good to keep your storylines moving forward, and it's good to know what's going on with the story. But when you're recapping Drake Maverick's 24/7 championship win on SmackDown Live, when you're recapping Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley going through the Jumbotron, that's another recap. You recapped it twice, right? You don't need to do it that often is all I'm saying. And yes, you can tell the story, and yes, there is a way to tell that story without recapping. It's just called good storytelling, right? That's all you got to do. Fans will buy into it, and I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to continue to use SmackDown as a promoter for Raw, because that's what WWE does. We got a $2 dono from Kayla Bernstein saying, "Hi, Conman, I'm back from my vacation." Well, welcome back, Kayla. It's great to have you back, and thank you for the support right then and there. But that's how we opened up the show, and that's all I really got to say about the cutscenes and the replays and all that right now. I'm not going to dive into it too much more, but I really wish WWE would present SmackDown Live as its own standalone show, not this second-tier Monday Night Raw ripoff, right? That's kind of what they were presenting it as. But anyways, Kevin Owens started out the show. He came on down to the ring as he was hosting the Kevin Owens show. His guests were Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, and Shane says that Kevin's introduction wasn't up to par, so cue Greg Hamilton, the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Shane says that he's not scared of The Undertaker or Roman Reigns as he turns to their tag team match at Extreme Rules. And he turned it into a no-holds-barred match, which is pretty big to come out of that first segment right there. Drew says everybody knows what he and Shane are capable of in regular matches, and this is a no-holds-barred match. It means that it's going to be a vicious assault like nobody has ever seen before. Owens then rolled some footage from the previous night, and he pointed out the flaws in Shane and Drew's story right there, showing them running away from The Undertaker, as Shane then tells Owens to do what he's told and read from the cue cards. Now, Kevin Owens doing all the little things right. I will continue to say this. Kevin Owens is WWE's best, most valuable player, or most versatile player is probably the better way to put it, because you can put that man in any role and he will kill it. He really will. So yeah, anyways, Kevin Owens, he continued to read off his card, and the way that he was doing these readings off this card, he was like getting halfway through under, flipping the card, Taker on the other one, and Shane, the best in the world. You know what I mean? He was just killing it, and then he read off his cards for a little bit. However, then Dolph Ziggler came out to interrupt. Owens told Ziggler that he's sick of hearing how he was supposed to be him. So, you know how Dolph Ziggler's saying, it's supposed to be me? Well, he's sick and tired of hearing it, right? And this was a cool little bit to the show right there, because what it did is it started to paint Kevin Owens as a babyface. Weird. Kevin Owens being a babyface after that vicious heel turn not just a few months ago against Kofi Kingston. Crazy stuff that they're slowly starting to turn him into a babyface. That was reiterated by the end of the night, which we'll get into. But yeah, Kevin Owens, man, slowly dipping towards the babyface side of things, and I have to believe this is because Kevin Owens wanted to run as a babyface. However, they had to turn him heel so that they could get a match with Kofi Kingston at a pay-per-view. Anyways, though, Dolph Ziggler said that he was sick, or no, Kevin Owens told him he was sick of hearing how it was supposed to be him. Owens tells Ziggler that it's never going to happen, so shut up and get over it. Ziggler says that everyone knows he deserves to be champion right now. He tells Owens that the only thing he looks the part of is for eating hot dog contests. That didn't make any sense. Let me try that one more time. A hot dog eating contest. Basically a fat joke. Real creative. Owens said that at least he would win a hot dog eating contest, which is more than he can say about Ziggler winning matches. Owens and Ziggler both tell Shane that they want their next shot at Kofi Kingston's WWE title. Shane says that neither of them will get it, but instead they'll have an opportunity tonight to compete inside of a tag team match against Heavy Machinery for the chance to go on to Extreme Rules to fight for the tag team championships in a triple threat match, which is probably going to be two men starting in the ring, because that makes no freaking sense. Triple threat tag team match, and you have only two people in the ring. Just won't ever understand it. But anyways, we then got the tag team champions Daniel Bryan and Erick Rowan backstage, where Bryan voiced his displeasure about Shane's decision right there. And I kind of like that Shane was kind of going against Daniel Bryan. We know that they have some issues from back in the day when Daniel Bryan was the general manager and Shane McMahon was the commissioner of Smackdown Live. Anyways, said that it didn't matter because him and Rowan are walking out as tag team champions at Extreme Rules. We then got an interview between Big E and Xavier Woods in the gorilla position, which I love seeing interviews like that. Said that they weren't thrilled with the news either of Heavy Machinery or the team of Owens and Ziggler being added to the tag team title match, which then proceeded the beautiful, beautiful moment of Big E doing his, oh, you know, like that awesome intro. We got ourselves a $20 dono from Miss Shell. Shell. How you doing, Shell? Hopefully you're doing well. Says, hey, Con, first time checking out your after show review. Nice job. Maybe I'll call in one day. Absolutely. Make sure you do so one day, Shell. Be awesome to talk to you. But thank you so much for the $20 donation. And as always, that $20 dono is absolutely glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend. Thank you so much, Shell. I appreciate it. Let's continue on right here with our Smackdown Live review. We had Big E versus Daniel Bryan be the up next match, and that was a lot of fun to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed that match. Let me just actually fix this results tab right here. One sec. Got to have Heavy Machinery defeating Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler later on in the night. Little spoiler from the show. But anyways, this was a non-title match, and Woods and Rowan were both at ringside. Very, very entertaining time. However, very surprising. It wasn't like it was a great match by any means, but it's very surprising that they had Daniel Bryan absolutely beat Big E. I know that there's a little bit of outside interference, with the whole kind of distraction at ringside and everything that went on. And yes, that's the excuse for Big E losing, but it was really good to see Daniel Bryan get a win, because Bryan has not had a win in a long time. Yeah, sure, you can sprinkle in some tag team wins, but when's the last time Daniel Bryan won a one-on-one match? He has done the job for a lot of people. Ali being one of them that come right to mind. He's done the job for Kofi Kingston. He's done the job for quite a few people already, and I'm pretty sure he's done the job for even more than that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, right? But crazy stuff. It's good to see Daniel Bryan pick up a win, as he needed a win big time before their match against New Day, and then the winner of Heavy Machinery and Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens. Anyways, we then went backstage for R-Truth, and he cut a weird promo about the 24/7 championship. That's all that I got to say about it. He called Drake Maverick Hornswoggle, and he called the 24/7 championship the 7-Eleven European TV Championship. So that is what it is. We then got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as they were shown backstage. Alexa says that she wants Nikki to host a Moment of Bliss tonight. Pretty cool stuff. She deserved it for beating Carmella, according to Alexa Bliss. Nikki then tried to decline, but Alexa said she deserves it and insists. So sure enough, out comes Nikki Cross to host a Moment of Bliss with her guest of honor, Bayley. Things didn't go quite the way that she wanted, though. This is what happened. Nikki came on out to host a Moment of Bliss and said hello to the San Antonio fans. She said that she admires Alexa Bliss and loves her so much. Nikki introduced her first guest, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Nikki welcomed her and saying that she asks the tough questions. She asked why Bayley called Alexa a liar. Bayley says Alexa is a liar, but Nikki says that's not the Alexa she knows. Once again, playing into the fact that Alexa Bliss is manipulating Nikki Cross. Nikki ends up jumping out of her seat and challenging Bayley, and Bayley accepts. So then we now got the one-on-one match, the rematch between Bayley and Nikki Cross, and here is where I am going to break the show down a little bit. Because this was a misstep. This was a mistake. Nikki Cross's momentum is gone. And I don't want to see champions lose on TV, but I also don't like people losing clean in the center of the ring for no reason. When somebody's going to do the job clean, I want there to be a reason for it. I want somebody to benefit from getting that win. Does Bayley benefit from that win more than Nikki Cross benefits from the loss? No. Nikki Cross, she could have benefited a lot more from the loss had Alexa Bliss somehow cost her the match accidentally through some sort of jealous rage, but not really a rage, just kind of like, yeah, I'm jealous. I came out to ringside to see how you were doing, and oh no, I accidentally distracted you. My bad. Whoops, I'm sorry. Let's go back to being best friends, and I'll get my one-on-one title match versus Bayley. I think this was a mistake. I think not having any sort of outside interference, any sort of Alexa Bliss's involvement, especially when Bliss just sent her out there to do Moment of Bliss by herself, I think it was a misstep. And as much as Bayley needs these wins early on in championship reign, you cannot cost Nikki Cross momentum just to put over a person who already has a championship. You always want to be building up other stars. You want to constantly be moving forward. If you're not moving superstars forward, you're moving them backwards. And honestly, doing nothing with them is just as worse as going out there and having, I don't know if I worded that right. Doing nothing with them doesn't do them any favors, but it also doesn't bury them. That's the way that I was going to say. All right. But yeah, Alexa Bliss, she needed to be involved in this segment somehow to continue the feud, to push towards Extreme Rules. I hope we see the next evolution of this story. I hope Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss have some more troubles with each other, and I really do hope that this ends up a triple threat match at Extreme Rules. Nikki Cross versus Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's what kind of needs to happen in my mind, but hey. And how you doing, Kruno? Welcome to the live stream, buddy. Welcome. Anyways, if you guys missed it, Bayley picked up the win off the belly to belly suplex, I should say. Let's see here. Then we got, yes, the Ali promo. Woo, okay, so this split a lot of people in the chat today. A lot of people were saying that Ali sounded like a heel, and I'm going to tell you absolutely every reason why Ali is not a heel. He is a big old baby face, and he's about to become one of the biggest baby faces WWE has. Ali pushing forward with the storyline of saying that he's going to change your mind. That is such a good storyline for a minority, right? Like, how good is that? Saying that, your minds have been made up already through previous generations of constant, just not very nice people, right? And constant misrepresentation by the Muslim community and all that. And Mustafa Ali, now known as just Ali, wants to change your mind. He wants to show you that he's just like you. You're just like him. There is no difference, right? And that is an amazing storyline, not only for the world right now with everything going on in it, but that is a storyline that is great for a babyface fighting for what he believes in, for what he has been fighting for his entire life. It's basically Ali's real life character, his real life struggles, being brought forward onto the screen. I love this. And a lot of people are saying that he sounded like a heel. There's no way in hell that was a heel promo. No way. Amazing. Amazing stuff from Ali. I loved it, and I can't wait to see the next evolution of this character because, man, saying that he wanted to be the next WWE champion and he will be a WWE champion, that's a story I can get behind. I want to see that. All right, so we then got the WWE champion Kofi Kingston out in the ring as he called on out Samoa Joe. Joe told the interviewer to get out onto the ring as he started addressing Kofi Kingston. Joe says game recognizes game, and he knows a hustler when he sees one. He knows the truth about Kofi. Joe says that he is using Woods and Big E, and soon they'll just be Kofi's butlers. Kofi says that he will beat Joe all by himself at Extreme Rules, and he talks about Joe losing his United States title to Ricochet. They continue to exchange words, and Joe says Kofi is manipulating the fans to sell them his merch. Kofi says that Joe is just jealous and nicknamed him now Jealous Joe. And he's jealous of Kofi Kingston because he'll never have a moment like Kofi had at WrestleMania. Joe said that he wants Kofi to prove him wrong and shake his hand to show his character, but Kofi declines. Joe tells Kofi he'll give him one more chance to shake his hand before he slaps him all over the ring. Joe then received a big old middle finger in the form of Kofi Kingston flipping Samoa Joe off. He then hit the Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. That would have been 1, 2, 3 if it was a match, but it was just a beat up. And he left the ring. Loved it. Awesome stuff right there. Heavy Machinery then was backstage for an interview. Otis and Tucker talked about their match with Owens and Ziggler tonight, and they hope to win to be added to the tag team match. Tucker says Ziggler and Owens have a total of 18 championships combined, but they're not a tag team like Heavy Machinery is. By the way, that is amazing stuff to hear that they've got 18 championships combined between Owens and Ziggler. I wonder how many are actually Kevin Owens. I think Dolph Ziggler's got more championships than Owens does for sure. All right, then we got the pre-tape video from Bobby Lashley talking about his crash with Braun Strowman last night on Raw. Bobby says that he wasn't wrestling and Braun could have electrocuted him. All right. Cool. Bobby says that when he sees Braun, he's going to send him to the morgue. Yeah, it was a weird thing. Just trying to think and wrap my head around this whole Bobby Lashley thing and where this is going, because Yeah, it's going to lead to a match, right, between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. That's kind of what this is all about. It's just weird that this was showcased on SmackDown. You know, we really didn't need that showcased on SmackDown. I think you got to have Raw storylines and you got to have SmackDown storylines, and they tried crisscrossing too many of them throughout the night, in my honest opinion. We then got a match between Apollo Crews and Andrade. This match was fine, nothing amazing. Andrade picked up the clean win with the hammerlock DDT. I mean, I guess Zelina Vega hitting the Hurricane on the outside to Apollo Crews does kind of save Crews in a way. But at this point, Apollo Crews is very much just an enhancement talent. I don't know if he's ever going to get a push inside WWE. He's still young. You know, he could still have a push here and there. I mean, people's contracts, you know, are 5-6 years when you sign them, 2-3 years, whatever. Maybe they're going to find something on his next contract because he's got to be getting close to being up with this contract, right? But yeah, Andrade picked up the win off the hammerlock DDT. We then saw Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler backstage arguing about each one or what each one of them will do in the tag match tonight. Then we got the pre-tape promo from Aleister Black in the dark room. He said that when he went to answer the door, nobody was there. They'd be playing mind games. And we'll find out who is man enough to pick a fight with him at Extreme Rules. Now, everybody, right here, I want to tell you guys there's a pretty good chance that it's going to be Cesaro answering the door, knocking on the door, I should say, of Aleister Black's. And here is the reason why. I know everybody wants to see Bray Wyatt debut, and everybody wants to see who is knocking on the door of Aleister Black. But the thing is, the fact of the matter is, it's not going to be Bray Wyatt. It might be Buddy Murphy, because he's an interesting enough of a character where like he could knock on the door and it would really be a showcase match for Buddy Murphy and he'd probably end up losing to Black, and then you could build him forward from there. But if you're going to have Bray Wyatt, then that means one of Bray Wyatt or Aleister Black is going to have to lose. And you do not want that for a brand new gimmick. You just don't. You just don't. So I think it's going to be Cesaro, guys. I just have this really good feeling. All right, we then got Ember Moon versus Mandy Rose. I thought that this was great. It was a great little win for Ember Moon, who desperately needed it. Mandy Rose is okay. She's entering some sort of storyline with Sonya Deville, and that's what that is. We then got the very, 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 very confusing thing with Shelton Benjamin. I mean, he looked just as confused as Bobby Lashley, if not more. He was backstage with an interview. He was asked what does he think about the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules, and he just kind of rolled his eyes around the screen like that. Couldn't believe it, and that was it. Walked off screen. All right. Then we got the match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler versus Heavy Machinery. We got some promos cut beforehand between the New Day, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan. Obviously, the New Day sitting out at that pancake table because that's what they do. That's part of their gimmick. Anytime they're on commentary, they have their own table with pancakes. So there you go. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler versus Heavy Machinery. The match got underway. It didn't take too long before Daniel Bryan, Rowan, Big E, and Xavier Woods all started brawling at ringside. And Xavier Woods got taken out with a giant iron claw slam right onto the table and right through it as well. This allowed Owens to start fighting back. Ziggler pulled the top rope down as Tucker fell outside of the ring. Ziggler tagged in, put Tucker in a knee bar, and Owens tagged back in, hit a splash on Tucker for a 2 count, and Ziggler tagged back in for a double team for another 2 count. Just let me refresh this really, really quickly. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Then, after that, Owens came back in the ring. Ziggler ended up accidentally super kicking Kevin Owens in the face. This led to Heavy Machinery double-teaming Owens with the compactor for the win. Very fun. And then after the match, guys, we got Kevin Owens' little retribution against Dolph Ziggler. Hit him in the midsection, kick to the midsection, stunner, end the show, as he says, "This is my show." There you go. So that was SmackDown Live. And honestly, a decent show. Like I said, nothing too major to write home about. Kofi Kingston flipping off Samoa Joe was probably the biggest one. Other than that, the show was fine. It connected some dots. It advanced the storylines. But it felt overall like a lot of Raw replays and a lot of Raw storylines. That's all I got to say. All right. Who's my favorite superstar? My favorite superstar is Chris Jericho. All right. Yeah, Kyle, that's not the way to try to talk to me by typing in all caps and then telling other people to shut up. That doesn't really fly very well here. It won't get you very far in the channel, all right? Anyways, though, we are going to get to our live calls now, everybody. Let's do it. So, let's talk first because I believe we've had somebody who's been begging to go first. I think it was... Who was it again? Yeah, who wanted to go first again? There's somebody in the chat that was begging me to be answered first, right? At least I thought. Ghostface, not to hate on you, but I'm going to rant at you for a minute. One loss does not ruin or help momentum. No, it does not. Not at all. Yes, it does. Yes, it does at all. That absolutely... No, you know what? No, Ghostface, I got to fire back to that. Yes, it does. Losing once absolutely derails momentum. Because what does momentum mean? Think about that. You're always moving forward, and if you lose momentum. Yes, it derails momentum. People can jump back from it easily, but if they aren't careful and you lose 2-3 times, your momentum is gone. Just like that. I mean, one loss for Ricochet the night after he won the United States title almost lost all of his momentum. That's just how it is. You have to continue to string wins over and over again to be viewed as a legitimate force in the WWE. You can't go out there, just have good performances, and then lose without it, derailing your momentum. Saying no, Nikki could just get the win back next week, get added to the match because she's so popular. Okay, dude, you're thinking WWE logic. WWE's logic right here is 50-50 booking. You have bought into 50-50 booking. Buy out of it, okay? 50-50 booking's bad. Somebody loses 1 week after they win. It is bad. It's as simple as that. Let's get to the calls. All right. So, first up, we are going to talk to... Let's go with Kruna. I haven't talked to Kruna in a long time. So yeah, let's start with Kruna, my friends. So Kruna's up first, and then after Kruna, we are going to get to... Let's go with Nicard Laveria after this, all right? So Kruna, you're up first. Hey, Kruna, how you doing, my friend? Your microphone's muted if you want to unmute it.
What's up?
How's it going, buddy?
It's really good.
It's been a long time since I've talked to you, eh?
We never talked in voice, but we talked in text.
Yeah, just talked over text, yeah. So how's it going, man? What'd you think of Smackdown Live tonight?
Oh, I was not really updated with WWE. Just came back,
Mm-hmm.
I was a few months off of WWE, so we kind of not can't talk about WWE,
Oh, yeah. So, what made you quit? Like, was you just uninterested in the product?
What do you mean?
Like when you stopped watching WWE, that you just said you stopped watching, right?
Yes, I stopped because I was really trying to make my Twitch, I just
I
got
gotcha.
out of school and stuff like that.
So just no time to kind of watch it. Yeah, gotcha. So is there anything that you would like to talk about from this episode?
Well, there's not really nothing. I just wanted to apologize for the past, if we can get it better.
Dude, you're all good, buddy. It's all good. We do have to continue on, though. We're going to get to some more callers that are going to talk about the show, though, okay? But it's all good, buddy. All good, all right?
Not a problem, man.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, Nicard, let's get to you. Hey, Nicard, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Am I pronouncing your name right, by the way?
This is actually what I was going to say. I said... I was thinking of our call. I was thinking of it yesterday. I have two things to talk about before we talk about professional wrestling in general, not just the episode. One, it's pronounced Nicard Lavera.
Nicard Lavera. Okay, gotcha.
Closely, Nicard backwards is spelled Draken, and Lavera backwards is spelled Arrival.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, kind of unique.
Yeah.
Two, I'm not trying to self-promote or anything. I'm not going to plug my channel, but I recently did... I'm doing and all those other show reactions because of you. You really inspired me to do that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That makes me really happy to hear.
I've only been in this Discord for about like 3 weeks, and I see the way that everybody just comes together, and I really like it. And we were all talking about we want Kruna to go first because Kruna really wanted to talk to you, and he hasn't been in here a long time. And that's what I just love about your community, and it's really nice.
It's a great community, and with people like you make it great, right? It's not all me, that's for sure. It's the amazing people that we have in this community. That's for sure.
Okay, let's talk about professional wrestling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's hear it. What you want to talk about?
AEW, all that. I'm gonna start with SmackDown because it was the first show of the night. Great. The only highlight I really see is the middle finger by Kofi. Here's the thing, like, I like that people backstage, they're doing edgy stuff now, right? But I feel like the edgy stuff is getting more attention than the actual storyline.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think
stuff is good.
What I'm going to say to
that,
just to answer you there, just what I would say to that is the reason why it's probably getting so much more attention is because it has been such a long time since we've seen edgy stuff on WWE, right? And so this will fade. You know, the whole big pop for edgy stuff will fade. People are going to stop, popping for just the word bitch on TV, right? It's going to happen, and then we'll get back to the point where, it's focusing on the storylines, and these edgier moments kind of just enhance the storyline as opposed to being the big moment of the story, right?
Yeah. Also, Aleister Black picking a fight with somebody at Extreme Rules. Don't get me wrong, the storyline is great, and I also agree with you. How bad I want it to be Bray, I feel like it's not going to be Bray because they both are coming back, and they were rushing because they had to put Aleister Black down after the Superstar Shakeup because Fox wanted that, and so they had to break up Aleister Black and Ricochet as the tag team. So they were like, okay, what do we do? And they came up with it. At first we were like, what the hell is this? And then it was really great.
Yeah, his character's really good right now, for sure.
Yeah, I really like it. And also the puppets backstage with the Firefly Funhouse. I don't really get it, but it is very creative. I do. It's kind of unique and kind of cool. All right. That's enough of SmackDown. I'm going to talk about Raw.
All right, let's hear it. What are you going to talk about?
I'm just going to talk about the AJ Styles heel turn.
All right.
Okay. So here's what I don't like about it, okay? It's not that AJ Styles doesn't work good as a heel. Trust me, the heel turn was great. It's just something about it doesn't feel good in my stomach. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's just the way the attire looks or something like that. But also, it's also that smacked Ricochet in the face, and that's when we knew he was going to turn heel. But I feel like he should have smacked him in the face, had that match, and then we should have had the match at Extreme Rules, and then AJ Styles lost, and then he would turn heel. I feel like that would be a better way to book it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Feel like there should be...
Like make the moment feel bigger, right? By putting it at the pay-per-view. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, the only thing with that is that this way it gets the heel turn, and you can make it bigger down the line. You can, because you don't have a top heel on Raw, right? Like there really isn't anybody at this moment, and if you have at least AJ Styles as a heel, that way maybe you get a reintroduction of the Seth Rollins feud if you want to go back to that, whatever. It's just if you have it at the pay-per-view, I feel like AJ Styles would almost need, like, yeah, he could win the title there, and it would almost elevate his heel turn even more. But at the same time, the heel turn worked for me on Raw. I'm just going to say that. Yeah.
And Peyton, I'm sorry that you think I'm taking a long time. I just really like talking to Con. Really. Yeah, I just really like our conversations. They're really long.
They're really good.
I'll talk about AEW and then I'm done.
All right, sounds good.
So let's start with, I believe the triple threat was amazing. It was really great, very captivating. What I felt like they should have done is who's the winner of that match? I forgot. The women's triple threat.
The women's triple threat. That was what's her name? Shoot, you just keep talking and I will. It was not Nyla. It was
It was Riho.
It was Riho. Who's the third girl? Oh, frig. Let me just quickly look this up. Sorry, it was Riho. Yeah, it was Riho. There we go.
So, what I feel like should have happened is, like, I feel like Nyla Rose should have won that, and then Awesome Kong came out, start a match for All Out.
Yeah,
that would be kind of unique.
I think Awesome Kong was a one-off. I mean, I would love it. Mm-hmm. I would love it if she was a mainstay on that roster because she opens up a lot of doors for women's wrestling there. A lot of great storylines. Nyla Rose, though, I agree that she probably should have won that one because when you're trying to build up a monster heel early on in the division, you want to make her seem like a monster. And when you're in there with two smaller girls like that, it should have been a cakewalk, you know? And I get, like, the match was obviously structured in the way where it made Rio winning become the underdog sort of thing. And it worked to an extent. But I agree. I think Nyla Rose was a star-making performance for her that night. That knee drop off the turnbuckle was huge. And I think it was a misstep for AEW not booking her strong right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears, really, it was a great idea. Big pop. A heel Shawn Spears with the haircut, if he had that ponytail still, it would not work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Great. Unfortunately, Cody got actually intentionally injured, which nobody wanted to see. Mm-hmm. And, however, it does create some fuel for their match. Probably going to be a match at All Out.
Yes, I absolutely agree. They've got also a lot of history there. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Cody and Ty Dillinger, when he was Ty Dillinger, tagged in FCW, I believe, and I think
it was OVW?
Was it OVW? Yeah, OVW. Yeah, that would be it, in developmental, and they won the tag team championships together, I believe. So there's a lot of story there, and they also dived into the fact that when Cody said he was just a good hand on that little promo, it was like, oh, that's where the whole heel turn came from. His best friend, well, not his best friend, but his former tag team partner is now this big shot and is calling him only a good hand. That would piss you off too, right?
All right, last thing, because everybody wants to talk. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, I'm not going to talk about that even though I want to. I'm going to talk about AEW's platform.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Really, I like it that the pay-per-views are very captivating and all, but I feel like everybody's over-exaggerating that they're going to be this big-time platform. But when they get the TV, maybe. Because here's the thing. Most wrestling fans don't have social media, or they do not have or they can't afford pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. However, I do feel like they do have an audience, and that audience is going to grow somehow. People are going to be talking about it. Let's say kids, they're going to talk about it at school. Co-workers are going to talk about it at work. It's going to be growing until it gets to TV. That's really all I'm going to say. Because everybody in Discord is pissed.
Oh, it's all good, man. You're actually really good to talk to. You have some good conversation. Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from with that. For sure, like, AEW is going to be a slow grow. But the thing is that they already have going for them is we got to remember this entire build for AEW comes from the entire indie world becoming bigger and bigger and growing, and more wrestling fans are watching the indies. And as a result, people like the Young Bucks, like Cody, like Hangman Page, they've all gotten over on their own right. And so they already have these legions of fans that are going to follow them no matter what. And as long as you have a hardcore audience like that, think ECW, think, original TNA, these are the impact companies, if you will, nice little pun there, that make an impact on the world of wrestling, right? If you have a hardcore fan base that is going to cheer loud for every show, you're going to be successful. That's just how it is.
All right, man, I'm going to stop annoying people now and just leave.
All right.
Talking to you.
Thanks for calling, man. It was always great talking to you.
See you tomorrow for NXT.
Sounds good, buddy. All right, talk to you later.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So, I got to talk to this man. Jack is here, calling live. Let's talk to Jack, all right? Jack. Jack.
Conman.
It's Jack. How you doing, buddy?
It's me.
It's been a long-ass time, hasn't it?
Too long.
Yeah, way too long. How you doing, man?
I've been doing good. Conman, how's the channel? How's the wife? How's the kids?
Oh, no wife yet. That'll be a long way down the line. Kids, well, even further, but the channel's doing great, man. How about you? How's your channel doing?
Oh, it's been doing pretty well. Pretty well. I've been working on a movie, so I haven't been around recently. And the wild card rule has kind of been driving me away. So
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's sentiment. The wild card rule drove them away. But what brought you back?
I was bored tonight, a little overworked, and I saw you were streaming, and I thought I'd hop in and talk to you again.
Beauty, man. It's a great way to to stay in shape, right?
Hell yeah.
So anything you want to talk about from tonight's show?
I watched the highlights.
The highlights, eh? So from the highlights, what was your one favorite moment from the night? Was it just Kofi flipping him off?
Yo, that was actually pretty cool, but it was really mean. Samoa Joe just wanted a handshake. I don't get why he deserved that.
When you put it that way, it does sound really mean, doesn't it?
He just tried to shake the man's hand. Can he not be respectful?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, in that term, yeah, for sure. That's a little mean, isn't it? Kofi should be a little more of a baby face. Anything else on the night, though, that you saw in that? Yeah, go ahead.
24/7 stuff is always entertaining. Despite me not watching the shows that much for the past couple of months, I've always checked out every 24/7 segment on YouTube.
Beauty. Okay, I want to actually focus on that right here because you would kind of consider yourself more on the casual side of being a fan right now, right? Like you're just a very...
WWE, it legit made me from a hardcore to a casual.
So hearing that the 24/7 championship is one of the few things that you actually still watch from WWE, that to me is saying that they are doing a killer job with it.
Hell yeah. Especially R-Truth, bro.
R-Truth's been amazing. And of course, Drake Maverick, that whole storyline of him now going on his honeymoon. I really hope R-Truth flies along somewhere and decides to try to pin him like on a beach or something like that. Like, that could be really funny. Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
man.
missed the Firefly Funhouse, bro. That was also what I was watching.
Yeah, that was good. You've been seeing all the puppets popping up backstage, right?
Oh, the what, sorry?
All like the little puppets as well?
Puppets.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been popping up.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting for sure. Now, I got one question for you though, man. If you were a booker in WWE, when would you book the debut of Bray Wyatt? When would you do that?
When would I do it?
I know, putting you on the spot, eh?
Alright, so what's this upcoming pay-per-view?
Extreme Rules. Okay.
Not gonna rush him into something with Kofi. Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
It's a tough one, eh?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah. All right. I won't put you on the spot any longer. Let's just say, maybe Extreme Rules, but maybe not. Maybe even a little bit later. Yeah.
Maybe one of Bray's puppets is one of the ones knocking at Alistair's door or something.
Can you just imagine the little witch just knocking away on the door? Yeah.
Open up.
Open up, or it's the Huskus the pig or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Firefly Funhouse. I hope that continues, like even when he's there being a monster.
I think it probably will. I think we're gonna have a few live Firefly Funhouses like in the center of the ring, and it's gonna be either really well done or it's going to be absolute garbage.
Or both in the best way possible.
Yep, like the Matt Hardy's Ultimate Deletion, right?
Yeah. I can only imagine like Bray being in a serious feud and just like being his secret, but also having those like Firefly Funhouses airing like every week.
Yeah.
And having the lighthearted stuff.
It'd be interesting for sure. Anything else you want to get off your chest before we get to the next caller, man?
Good luck with your wife and kids.
Thanks, dude, and good luck with the rest of your channel, eh?
Thank you so much, friend.
All right, because I like you, you get one quick plug. Where can they find you on your on YouTube?
YouTube.com/JackTSS. Conman can link it in the chat because he likes me.
I'll do that for you right now. All right.
It used to be the site saying I shortened it, bro.
I know. You freaked me out a little bit. I was like, what the heck happened there?
I think it looks better shortened. I like Jack TSS better.
Jack TSS, right? That's what it was. All right, cool. I'll link that in the chat for everybody right now. Dude, thank you so much for calling in.
Help me out, bro.
All right, let's get Jack to 4K, everybody. Longtime fan of the channel, and we used to have a podcast together as well a long time ago. So, Jack, thanks for calling, man, and it was great talking to you.
Have the best night of your life, bro.
Yes, you too, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, everybody, right now we are going to let's get to Sin, all right? Sin, you're going up next. Sin, and then I want to we'll talk to Nathan Noble after Sin, all right? And that'll be our last caller of the night. Hey, Sin, how you doing, my friend? How's it going, buddy?
Good, you?
Pretty good. So what'd you think of SmackDown tonight, man?
All right, so like I'm happy that the PG era is back.
The PG era?
I mean, no, like,
yeah, like the almost TV 14, right?
Yeah. And like it started coming back like yesterday because Corey Graves like said, "Holy shit!" When the spear happened.
Crazy, eh? Like that's just it came out of nowhere. It's almost like it was their answer to AEW, right? It's like there's been this gritty AEW stuff going on. There was that insane chair shot that we saw on Cody Rhodes, and WWE just answered back saying, all right, let's get a little more gritty, at least this week. Maybe we'll create some conversation.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the show overall, though, tonight? Like, what was your favorite part of the night, let's say?
Like the tag team matches were good.
Okay.
Like, machinery.
You happy with Heavy Machinery picking up the win and going into the tag triple threat?
Yeah, they should get a better push.
Yeah, I agree, man. They might win the tag titles. They might.
That's, yeah.
Would you like? So you'd like to see them as tag champs?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Anything else that you want to get off your chest before the end of this call?
And no, can you get my boy B. Gills up in the call? He's been waiting since a long time.
All right, we'll do B. Gillis as our final call. All right, we'll do Nathan Noble and then B. Gillis, and that's all the calls we can handle today.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
dude. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful night. All right, Nathan Noble and then B. Gillis. Hey, Nathan Noble, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Conman. How's your game, boy?
It's been pretty good. It was capped off by a pretty decent episode of Smackdown Live. What's your thoughts on the show?
I know he wouldn't sound of this, but Kofi Kingston with a middle finger right at your face. What's up with that?
I think it was just an added part to their rivalry. I liked it. It was really fun. It definitely caught me off guard, for sure.
Hey, I got a direct message to Corey Graves. Can I do that?
Sure. All right, let's hear it.
Corey Graves, I don't know what's the big idea. What's wrong with you saying holy shit right for the camera? I think you just find yourself maybe get a little bit suspended. I don't think you should be fired, but I think you should be suspended for maybe for a couple of weeks or maybe 1 week and we saw. I don't know. But Corey, I want to remind you of something. If you say holy shit yet again, I promise you, my friend, I'm going to come over to Raw. When I grow out to the WWE Superstar, I'm coming over to Raw and make sure I'm going to make sure to lock the Lucky 13 your ankle and maybe hit the not walking at all.
Wow.
You got it?
There you go, Corey Graves. If you're listening, geez, that was a promo from Nathan Noble. Yeah, so it's just kind of crazy that he dropped that last night on on Raw, I should say. Any thoughts on SmackDown overall tonight, though? What was your favorite moment other than Kofi Kingston flipping off Joe?
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's okay, but they're still really full of Raw reports. I think still need a little more entertainment.
Okay, so you want more entertainment, eh? Maybe if they cut out a few of those Raw replays, like the 6 replays that we had tonight, maybe they can fit in, something with the IC Championship? I don't know.
Okay, that's gonna do me here. I'll catch you in the hole of the rope. You get a chance to call me, and I will see you. Make sure to click on the like subscription on Conman167. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Tap that little bell on the YouTube app. Join his notification so you never miss an upload. And Con, I'll see you later.
Thank you so much, dude. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yes.
All right, guys. We are going to finish off the call here today with B. Gillis. Here we go. B. Gillis, you're our final caller of the evening. Hey, B. Gillis. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you, Conman?
Good, good. I hear you wanted to be in this call pretty badly, so let's hear it. What do you want to talk about?
So some things I wanted to talk about is the exciting moments of SmackDown, in my opinion. So one of the moments that I found was actually pretty exciting. It was definitely the promo between Joe and Kofi. Mm-hmm. That was really good.
Yeah, really, really
definitely
good.
Definitely the ending. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, man. That was awesome. Everybody seems to kind of share those same sentiments that was probably the best moment of the night was Kofi Kingston and Joe's promo, especially capped off with the middle finger from Kofi Kingston. Don't see it on WWE that often, so it was a really nice treat for us.
Yeah, kind of bringing back the Attitude Era a little bit.
A little bit. I really hope that this gets named a new era. Like, you know what I mean? Not an Attitude Era, not the reality era, but let's find a name for like this current era, the social media era. Like you could almost deem it that, right?
Era a little bit.
A little bit. We need to coin it something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing that I like is how the SmackDown Tag Team division is definitely rising up with like the feuds and stuff. Now that New Day's in the equation with Daniel Bryan and Rowan and Heavy Machinery, it's getting pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. I agree. They're doing a good job building up that tag team division. I love the work that Daniel Bryan has been doing because he's putting himself like on a pedestal and acting like he's better than everybody else in the tag team division, calling everybody else a joke, and it's great because it builds up the sympathy for the undercard of the division. People like Heavy Machinery and New Day are getting a good reaction because of Daniel Bryan. It's awesome work, man.
Yeah, I love Daniel Bryan. I think he's like one of the best heels on the mic.
I absolutely agree with you. Crazy.
I'm so happy that he won a singles match today. I mean,
yeah,
it took him.
It was
pretty long.
It was like,
I actually seen him win.
When was the last time that he won? Because I absolutely agree. I called that on the stream. Is like it has been forever since Daniel Bryan has won one-on-one action.
I have no idea.
Like, was it like Elimination Chamber? No, the Gauntlet match. The Gauntlet match against Kofi Kingston when he came out last, right? That's probably the last one-on-one pinfall that Daniel Bryan has.
Wow.
That's a long time ago, man. Yeah, it was a good win for Bryan.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about with this show?
Can we talk about the main event?
Sure, let's talk about it.
So I thought the idea of Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler being kind of like a tag team, that kind of interests me a little bit. I had a little tag team name for them. I was thinking of the KO Show-Offs, but it's kind of
it's kind of a moot point now, eh?
yeah. But I like how their rivalry is spiking up now that they're gonna face each other at Extreme Rules. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm guessing that too. Honestly, if I were WWE, I would try to make like, if you had, let's say, Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Extreme Rules. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I would really like to see this be a #1 contenders match for the IC Championship.
Yeah, I don't even know where the IC Championship is now.
It's just being left off TV. I don't understand it. You have somebody like Finn Balor who is universally over with an amazing gimmick, who represents also like the LGBTQ community, right? Like, how do you not represent that more in your company? I just don't understand with Finn Balor. He's a champion, but like they keep him off TV. It's like, what?
Maybe like a promo this show would probably like spark up their rivalry, but no, nothing happened.
If they cut away those 6 replays that they had from Monday Night Raw, you find time for the IC Championship. And that's just like kind of the point I've been driving in throughout the show, is that you gotta find a way to give SmackDown Live its own identity. Otherwise, it's just going to be viewed as the secondary show again. And they spent so long since 2016, since the brand split, trying to make it its own standalone product. And then they just went back to their, like, a few years ago.
It's just sad to see, like, the United States title being having a very good rivalry with it, but then just seeing the IC title on SmackDown just being left out.
And it always seems like that's the case. They only make feuds for one of the mid-card belts at a time. It doesn't seem like they're ever invested in both belts at the same time, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to book, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. I think that's going to be it, though. Thank you so much for calling. Anything else? Anything else that you want to quickly get off your chest before we leave?
No, not really.
All right, dude. So thank you so much for calling. Always great talking to you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Yep. No problem. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, guys. So that is going to bring us to the end of our live call section here today. Thank you so much to all of our live callers. You know I love talking to each and every single one of you. Reminder: we normally take about five calls or so during this live show. Hear your thoughts on the show. So make sure, if you guys want to join the live calls in the future, whether it be here on Hold the Rope, or here on my SmackDown Live reviews, or on my Raw Live reviews, anything like that, all you need to do is join the Discord, which is down in the description below, and just join that thing, be a part of the Conman community. You get to talk wrestling with a lot of great wrestling fans as well. But guys, that's going to be it for me right here today. We are going to be uploading the poll right here on YouTube. If you guys think the show was friggin' fantastic, good, just okay, bad, or absolute crap, that's for Smackdown Live. Please vote in that poll, as that'll be up in probably about 5 minutes. Also, up on the channel right now is my live reaction to Kofi flipping Samoa Joe off. So if you guys missed that part from the live stream and you want to catch just that part, you don't got to sift through the 2 hours of crap that I uploaded today. All right? It's a minute. Upload it on YouTube right now. Go watch it. Go give it a like. And go make sure you comment on that video as well. But guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching here today. On your way out, leave a like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed with those notifications turned on. And as always, I've been Con, and that was Smackdown Live, July 2nd, 2019.